So a few months ago, I shot a video of a F90 BMW M5, and in this video I'm going to show you how I planned, shot and edited that video. Let's get into it. So on the day of the shoot, we woke up later than expected. On car shoots, you really want to wake up as early as possible, so one, you can get good lighting, and two, you can get the roads as quiet as possible. We ended up leaving at around 10 a.m, but we left to the shoot location and got the car washed, and then we head out around the local area to scout for some locations. We found a location and it was absolutely epic, so we just started shooting. So when filming car videos, there's generally two parts to the shoot. The first part of the shoot would be the static shots, where you kind of want to show the lines of the car, you want to show the aesthetics, the textures, and the different features of the car inside and out. The second part of the shoot is when you want to do the motion stuff, when the car's driving, car's drifting around, or whatever it is, when the car's in action, to kind of bring the car to life and really bring some more excitement to the video. Generally, these shots are where you can kind of add more pace within your video to keep your viewer engaged, but we'll touch more on this when we get to the editing section. So a lot of people actually use rigs to rig up their cameras to the car. Whenever I've shot car content, I do it the more riskier way by just hanging my gimbal out either the window or sitting in the boot of the car. Normally does the job, looks wicked. Like I said, it's not the safest option, so if you do it, just be careful, make sure you're strapped in, whatever, etc. But yeah, it does the job. So for the static shots, what I normally do is that I start at a wide frame, the widest my lens will go, and then I'll go around the car, closer to the car, around the front, around the back. Then what I'll do is I'll do the same thing, but at the highest focal length. Then I'll go around the car again, front angles, quarter angles, the wheels, the badges, everything. This way you've kind of covered everything that you could possibly get with the car. So frame rates when you're shooting are super important. They add a lot of atmosphere and character to your shot. So when you're doing the rolling shots of the car, you want to make sure that you're shooting at 25 frames per second and your shutter speed is at 1/50. This will give you the smoothest possible motion blur. It will make your shot look more dynamic, like your car's moving faster, the road's nice and smooth, like there's a lot of motion blur, the wheels are smooth. So the gear that I used for the shoot was my Sony a7S III paired with the Tamron 28 to 75mm lens. The gimbal I use is a DJI Ronin RS3, which is awesome. I used the small rig handle on top just for that extra stabilization. Super smooth, does the job, carries the weight of the camera perfectly. I haven't had any issues with it. So the shoot was finished. I got some photos in the end, and then we left, and we actually had to get the car washed again because of all the drifting shots and whatnot. The car was absolutely filthy. I got back from the shoot, I edited the photos, which I'll probably make a separate video about how I edited the photographs. Let's get into the editing. So like with many of you, the editing process will start with the soundtrack. So in this video, I went to Artlist to find a track, and then what I do is I'll just cut through my favorite segments of the track. So I'll rearrange the audio depending on how long the video is looking to be, whether it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute long. You should have a rough idea at that point of how long you want to make the video, so you know how to edit the track accordingly. So for this video, obviously it was very short, it's around 15 to 20 seconds. I made sure there was a nice build up, there was a drop, and then there was a nice climax to the audio. And then an outro to the track as well. This made sure there's emotion in the video and they watch through from the start to the end of the video. I then went ahead and dragged in my favorite clips on the shoot to match the timeline of the audio, making sure that there's longer clips and shorter clips. Just working on the pace of the video and making sure it's engaging from start to finish. And within that process, I use speed ramping. Speed ramping really helps you transition from one clip to another. It's very important to use motion blur when you have a speed ramp on a clip, just to make it more clean and cinematic and give that smooth transition from one clip to another. This really helped elevate the pace of the video. I use the rolling and driving shots in the climax of the video because that's where the video gets most exciting. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of movement. So once that was done, I moved on to probably one of the most important parts of the editing process, which is your sound design and sound effects. So the two websites I used for sound design and sound effects within this project was Artlist and Lens Distortion. You want to use sound effects to emphasize the soundtrack and the music, as well as obviously what the visuals are showing. Like if the car was drifting, like you'd hear rocks and like different whooshes of the car flying by. And this will just really help thicken up that audio and just give a lot more ambience and atmosphere to your video. So finally, we're on to the color grading process, which is the final step of the whole project. So my color grading process starts with a S-Log3 to Rec 709 LUT, which gives you a good base now to just manually color grade the rest of the video. And then I go on to fixing the temperatures of the video. And in this video specifically, it's a very industrial, metallic, cold kind of environment. So I did decrease the temperature of the clips. I then went in and added contrast, and then the final step was to open up the color curves, add a bit of blue into the shadows. Then what I'll do is I'll go into each video clip, make sure they're all exposed equally and correctly, make sure the video all lines up and looks the part. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That was a super long video. I don't think I've done a video that long in a long time. But if you have reached this point, please drop me a comment just to know that you have reached the end of the video. I appreciate you for watching. I really want to just post more consistently and just push out on my YouTube, just give out whatever small amounts of knowledge that I have in this beautiful field of content creation. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.